Listen to this. A villager, speaking quietly, described seeing a sacred mark of her community turned into a trending tattoo on an influencer's feed. She says, "It felt like someone reached into our temple and took a piece of our prayer." You can hear the hurt in her voice, and it's the exact kind of quiet harm we rarely see on the front pages.
The image went viral, but for this episode, we kept everything redacted. No designs, no templates, no names. Our research shows the pattern. Spiritual marks and guardian motifs lifted without consent, repackaged as fashion. We will explain how it happens, and importantly, how communities can protect what belongs to them.
Welcome to NSP Plus TV. I'm Norn, Cambodia news commentator. Today, we dig into a quiet cultural erosion. Sacred Khmer motifs turned into tattoo flash, stripped of context and sold as trends.
And I'm Nisa, social media monitoring specialist. Before we begin, a safety note. We will not show or describe sacred designs. No templates, no ritual steps, and all contributor details are redacted to protect communities. If you want to send evidence, follow our secure intake, redacted only Ps.
Why does this matter? A sacred motif isn't just decoration. It carries lineage, ritual meaning, community authorship, and often obligations around use. When those signs are commercialized without permission, it's not harmless fashion, it's cultural extraction.
Exactly. From our monitoring posts that remove context get thousands of shares faster than careful, credited posts. The data reveals a pattern. Images simplified, captions that call them tribal or Pan-Asian, and marketplace listings that sell scanned designs as ready-to-ink stencils. The consequence? Communities see their living culture turned into anonymous commodities.
Let's go through 3 anonymized cases we reconstructed from public records and redacted testimonies. Case A, a tattoo studio rebrand. Nisa, walk us through what you found.
Case A began with a local studio rebranding a set of guardian motifs as Southeast Asian Protection Flash. They stripped spiritual context, renamed the pieces with generic labels, and uploaded them to a marketplace under a shop that had a history of buying wholesale designs. We tracked repost chains. The shop's version had paid boosts and appeared in 3 regional influencer accounts within 2 weeks.
So there's deliberate productization. Rename, anonymize, market. What does that do to the community that recognizes those figures as part of ritual life?
We heard from an artist who asked to remain anonymous. They said people in the village felt violated, like prayer had been turned into a commodity. And economically, when generic versions flood the market, local custodians and ethical artists lose income because buyers chase cheaper anonymous flash instead of community-authored work.
Case B is the influencer angle. Tell us how fashionization normalizes disconnection from origin.
An influencer with a large regional following posted a video wearing a ritual mark as fashion, caption framed it as aesthetic ritual chic. The post didn't attribute origin or spiritual meaning. Engagement metrics show high repeat shares, and copycat posts multiplied across platforms. Our cross-referencing shows several accounts reused the same stylized image, often with comments that mocked or minimized the original meaning.
That's information cascade. A single normalization moment can unmoor a motif from its community. When people only see a design as cool, its ritual context gets erased in public perception. This erasure is not neutral. It rewrites who owns the narrative.
Case C moves into marketplace forensics. We traced listings where sellers uploaded scans of stone carvings and described them as etching patterns or authentic temple designs for download. Some marketplaces removed listings after complaints, but many remained with high download counts. We documented timestamps, seller IDs, and invoice screenshots, public records only, and flagged repeat sellers across platforms.
Important reminder, we do not reproduce any design here, but the marketplace trail is clear. Scans, listing descriptions that sanitize ritual context, and commercial use without community consent. That brings us to the evidence primer. what custodians and ethical artists should archive defensively.
Here are concrete things to collect without publishing sacred images. 1. Timestamps and URL snapshots or archived copies. 2. Seller or account IDs and screenshots of listings and captions. 3. Invoices or payment receipts where available. 4. Statements from local custodians or artists attesting to origin. 5. Any pattern evidence, repeated phrasing, identical files across shops. Never share full templates or ritual instructions publicly. Keep sacred content redacted and work through legal or NGO partners when needed.
We also spoke with 2 experts, summarized here with their permission and without naming them. The cultural rights lawyer emphasized drafting consent clauses that define authorship, usage rights, and removal terms. She recommended keeping a simple attribution clause in artist agreements and using community-authored notices on ethical shop pages.
The ethicist told us, start with relationship building, not shaming. Platform takedowns are effective when paired with a respectful, documented request that explains cultural harm and proposes remedy language. Panic or public shaming risks harming local artisans and can escalate into harassment. Our monitoring confirms the pattern is often commercial, sometimes automated, but mediated remedies yield better long-term outcomes.
So, what do listeners actually do? 3 immediate low-risk actions. 1. Document redacted provenance. Follow Nisa's checklist and archive evidence without exposing sacred templates. 2. Request platform removals using respectful templates that focus on misuse and community harm, not personal attacks. 3. Support ethical artist community agreements. Promote studios that commit to consent and shared revenue when motifs are used.
We prepared sample language listeners can use: short, firm, non-confrontational. Identify the listing, note why the item is culturally sensitive, request removal or mediation, and offer to connect the platform with a verified community representative. If you send tips to us, follow our secure intake. Redactive evidence only, please. We will forward to heritage NGOs when appropriate.
A few final realities. This isn't just about art. It's about spiritual life, livelihoods, and the dignity of communities. When designs leave their original meaning, communities lose authorship and economic value. But there are hopeful paths. Transparent attribution, paid licenses, and respectful collaborations restore value to custodians instead of outside sellers.
And practical note, platforms can and do respond when presented with clear, documented cases. We documented several successful takedowns that followed the process we described. Persistence, respectful communication, and partnering with cultural rights organizations make a real difference.
Thank you for listening. If this episode helped you understand the issue and what to do, please subscribe to NSP Plus TV. Send redacted tips through our secure intake. Share this episode with community custodians and ethical artists, and support policies that protect living heritage. The facts are clear. The evidence is undeniable. Stand with Cambodia.